Welcome to the Boise State Esports Arena. Today you are joining us for a Mountain West match. We have got Boise State ready to go up against the Wyoming Cowboys. Should be a very fun match as Boise State is currently undefeated right now in their Mountain West matchup. So we'll see if they can continue on that winning streak. I'm your host, Jacob Palmer, and I am joined by none other than Richard Pontillo, or Rich Rad, as many of you might know him. He is coming to us. Doc's keys to the game ready to go. And the keys to the game in Overwatch is never to take a fair fight. That means to take fights in unexpected places when your opponents are unprepared, and of course try to leverage as much tempo as you can get. It's all brought to you by...
We got to see how well-rounded Boise State has been on this map specifically, and just overall against their opponents in this Mountain West region. So even with that little bit of a handout, I could say, in some respects to the opponent, I think this is still going to be a tall task for them to try and take down Boise State, as we've even talked about before, of the significance of their success within this.
Recall on out of there, has the pulse bomb ready to go. Look at Moose right there. Gets one for Boise State against Ballistic. Already, Boise State has been really good at focusing down the supports for Wyoming, taking away all that healing. Now the tank's going to bite the dust as well. And we had a swap
right now. You lose a lot of that effective healing. Also, the most important part is the immortality field as Clear's got to play forward.
Clear slowly moving toward Violet, moving up the stairs menacingly at a slow pace with Gravitic in tow. And Ballistic gets taken out by Clear. This tank, Wyoming just can't find any support or grouping up.
Is they've always been so great at being able to isolate and find separate individuals from the team that if Wyoming isn't going to play as a tight-knit group, they will be picked up repeatedly, and it's continuing to happen.
Boise State now moving in, and it's just wiping out the enemy team. Just look away for 1 second, and Wyoming is completely gone. Not too much support behind him. Clear just hiding behind the shield to any damage Erissa's trying to put on him, and just waits it out. Support from Chosen helps him melt down all that health. Moose picks up a double on the remaining two Cowboys, and that is a done deal for Boise State on Kings Row. They win the round.
And you know, I want to touch a little bit back further, as you mentioned, about Clear and just being in that atmosphere and the level of competitive play. And I think that's a really significant factor to also bring to this, because when you have a player that goes, you know, and takes this type of adventure to where they're playing at the highest level, that what that means to the rest of the players on the team. And now they can start understanding, you know, at that level as well.
I mean, usually we've seen Junker Queen on Savasta.
There were very rare occasions where we would see it when it at least came from the Overwatch Championship Series, that even when it came to EU really adopting this towards the later portion of it, because it did find value, and there's already a massive shift of momentum here.
It's a complete shift of momentum. A team kill for Boise State. Back from Boise State. Clear is a bit of revenge. Just focuses everything he has onto Foxtrot. Violet Dart lands the hold onto Daydream. And now Wyoming, successful hold the point, is barely holding on, is forced out Boise State's barrage, and they're beat, and the barrage comes flying through with a double. Boise State now just has 2 more Cowboys to clear out, and they will control this flashpoint. Now moving in, and now reinforcements have arrived. Moose picks off famous Kitsune Rush, and what a hack onto Wyoming. It hits all of them. Boise State, can they get eliminations off this? Moving in for the Resurrect is going to be able to get Chosen, Moose, and Daydream. Now, Moose and Chosen now getting eliminations of their own. Chosen gets yet another one on the shot, and it's enough for the Javelin to hit a large bagel. Rez comes in as Daydream is off of the respawn. Clear moves in, takes out Kariko. We're getting a fist fight and a hack onto 2 of Wyoming, and that hack getting Boise State just enough time to take all the abilities away from Wyoming. Move in with a triple for Chosen.
This influx of damage of long-range hit scan and getting Ballistic.
Oh, good. He just peeks out around the corner. One shot to the head, and he's not done. He has a barrage, too, to take down the Kariko. A double. Boise State is going hunting, getting greedy, and greed is good, because every single person they're going after, they're picking up. Now, and if you've been joining us throughout the season, you know that this season is the one to break the Grand Championship tie record. UNLV has won the championship 3 times. Boise State has won it 3 times, but one of those teams might be able to break that tie and be the undisputed Mountain West champions as we go on to Coliseum as the
out of this neutral fight. Even if you don't, let's say, get to the first checkpoint and you are even close to it towards those arches, you can always have more than enough time to get back to this neutral and continue to hold. Here is Clear. Salutes to those that are watching and is ready to put on a show.
Down famous Redman might be soon. They're at least going to have to force out that recall if he hasn't spent it already. Clear not even going to let that happen. Takes him out. Both DPSs have been taken out in this team fight by Boise State. Now they're moving on in. Terra Surge spent by Wyoming, but it's too little too late. It's just more to try to stay alive. In fact, they've split up the Cowboys entirely.
Anything goes awry.
Sune Rush spent by Boise State as well as Immortality Field. Large Bagel is facing a bit of pressure. He's bailed out. Chosen isn't going to be able to survive. The Boise State did manage to take out Ballistic, so it's still very much a winnable fight, especially as Foxtrot is taken out by Moose. They're pushing the tank back so low on health. Violet Dart trying to hold in there. They've swapped over. The tire being spent by Wyoming. Will it get anybody or Boise State spotted out? Clear gets the pick before the Rip Tire can go out. It's still being hung onto by the Junkrat. Isn't going to find anyone. Large Bagel also takes out Ballistic. Violet Dart fighting a losing fight as all of their teammates have already been taken out. I think famous
since the DPS have swapped and they have a little bit more of this fortification. Oh my goodness, that's a fast Death Blossom.
I think the only Death Blossom, it was kind of more of a Death Blossom onto itself so far up into the enemy team that Boise State just said, took 2 steps back, said okay, and then Indiana Jones style just took him out with 1 gunshot. To take out the Pilot Diva, no tank left for the Cowboys. Kitsune Rush and a self-destruct being thrown right out onto the spawn. Deadeye also picks up that Widowmaker. All their DPSs are gone, all their supports. There's just the Diva trying to come in to contest, but it's all alone and it's going to be focused down by Boise State. A lot of time, though, that they can stall out with the Pilot Diva form. Moving on in, Boise State gets the pick, and it's not going to be enough. Wyoming unable to hold Boise State. They win in Coliseum and win the match.